is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. The House January 6th committee is considering next steps after former President Donald Trump failed to appear for testimony under subpoena. More from CBS's Scott McFarland.
The deadline for him to sit with them for an interview, according to their subpoena, was November 14th. Didn't happen. The request for documents was deadlined earlier this month for November 4th. Didn't happen. In a statement that was issued Monday night, the January 6th committee says the former president is doing what thousands of other witnesses did not do, failing to come forward, and that he's making a legal challenge which echoes legal arguments courts have thrown out in the past.
The former president is expected to announce a 2024 run tonight. CBS News projects Democrat Katie Hobbs will defeat Republican Kari Lake and become Arizona's next governor. More from CBS's Christina Ruffini.
Trump-backed Kari Lake, the Republican, has been critical of the voting system in Arizona, accusing officials in Maricopa County of incompetence. But those accusations were not backed up by evidence.
Indonesian President Joko Widodo today called on the G20 leaders meeting in his country to work on ending the war, apparently a reference to Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
We must not allow the world fall into another Cold War.
President Biden is at the G20 summit. Russian President Vladimir Putin is not. Understatement today from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen in an interview with CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes at the G20 summit in Bali.
In some ways, the crypto space has inadequate regulation.
Last week, the FTX currency exchange shocked investors by declaring bankruptcy. Google has agreed to pay almost $392 million in a settlement with 40 states over allegations that the company tracked people through their devices even if their location tracking had been turned off. Connecticut Attorney General William Tong.
It is not an exaggeration to say that we live in a surveillance economy. Understand that you're being tracked every minute of every day where you are.
The U.S. Department of Transportation is fining 6 airlines a total of more than $7 million for not promptly giving refunds to customers who'd had flights canceled or significantly changed. The airlines also have to give $622 million in refunds. Air travel expert Bill McGee.
There were tens of thousands of flights that were scheduled and were put in reservation systems. And worst of all, the airlines collected money on, which is a form of deception, when they had reasonable doubt that they were going to be able to operate those flights.
Frontier Airlines is the only domestic carrier that's part of the settlement. The United Nations projects the world's population will hit 8 billion people today. Dow futures up strongly. NASDAQ futures up more than 1%. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies Black Friday starts now with up to 50% off select business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Call 877-ASK-DELL.
Do you know Dell Technologies Black Friday event has arrived with select deals on top tech to power business productivity. The savings start now with up to 50% off select performance business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, including free shipping on everything. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL for Black Friday deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A Grammy Award winner and well-known voice of the 70s can no longer sing.
Roberta Flack's voice has been around for decades.
Drumming my pain with his fingers.
But now her manager says she is no longer able to sing because she's suffering from ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. It comes just days before a feature-length documentary on the 85-year-old's life is set to debut at a New York City film festival. Flack's team says she still plans to stay active through her foundation and other venues. Matt Piper, CBS News.
The Recording Academy will announce nominees for the 65th Grammy Awards at noon Eastern today. Earlier this year, the Academy created an award for Song for Social Change, along with 5 new categories, including Songwriter of the Year. The Grammys will be handed out February 5th in Los Angeles. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary. Oil keeps going up as the Russia conflict escalates. Help the U.S. with your patriotic investment that can potentially pay you monthly income for up to 20 or more years. If you're an SEC accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. The U.S. government needs your investment in oil and is allowing you to write off nearly 100% of your investment in the first year. Call 800-278-7455. 800-278-7455.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Find a plan that's right for you at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Have you heard about the new online home for the Glasgow EPB? Well, it isn't just a new-looking website. It's a whole new way to manage your Glasgow EPB services. At the all-new GlasgowEPB.com, you can take care of paying your bill online like always, but you can also request or transfer your Glasgow EPB services, access customer support guides, easily sign up for GEPB alerts, and learn about all available products and programs. So check it out today, GlasgowEPB.com.
Being a small business owner has changed a great deal in recent days. Whatever stage of small business you're in, you need an experienced financial partner to work for you. Derek Staples at U.S. Bank is a small business specialist that you can count on to help you with creative ways to deal with the challenges you may have. U.S. Bank is in a great position to meet those needs. Talk to Derek Staples today at 270-659-3271 and take the next step in managing your business. Member FDIC.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Good morning from the studios of WCLU in downtown Glasgow, Kentucky. We are saying good morning to all of our listeners here on WCLU as well as on the Big Willie as we are up and running here. Quite a bit warmer than we were yesterday. Thankfully, though, because we've had some rain overnight. We have 39 degrees this morning. We've also had a little over a tenth of an inch of rain. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. We got to get over here and first things first. We got to get the birthday list going. I'm writing down one more birthday that I just hung up from the phone. Y'all give me just a second so I can write this so the next person can read it. Here we go. Today it's James Denton, a fine fellow having a birthday today. Louise Garrett celebrates. E.G. Landers. It's also Donna Kinslow's birthday. Pam Landrum. Chad Settle. We understand Mr. Chad is 45 today. Josh Payne. It's Miss Kristen Bale with a birthday. Mr. Greg Hollander celebrates today, too. One anniversary couple thus far. It's for a very nice couple. It's for Betty and Ewing Hopkins. Mr. Ewing and Miss Betty are celebrating their, 65th wedding anniversary today. A big congratulations to each of you. 651-9149, 800-956-1023, and online here from WCLUradio.com. We'll be taking names, and somebody's going to win a birthday cake from DQ in the 8 o'clock hour today, and a beautiful rose from Greer's Florist in the 8 o'clock hour today, too. Who knows what else will happen? I'm going to stick around and find out. Good morning live at 9 minutes after the 6 o'clock hour. Let's talk about the weather forecast today. First of all, let me tell you, we've had a tenth of an inch of rain here in the overnight hours. The most rain I have seen this morning is over at Burkesville. They've had about 1/1600ths of an inch of rain. But where are we going today? How about scattered showers, a high of 49. Precip chance is 50-50 for today. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 32 degrees. A little bit, we got to watch that. We have moisture and we're going to hit freezing at the same time. There's a chance on Wednesday of afternoon flurries. That's right. We keep throwing that word out there. Afternoon flurries, possibly on Wednesday, a high of 41 degrees. And then Wednesday night, a chance of flurries, too, a low of 24. Thursday, sunny, back up to 39. So we'll do a little rebound there on Thursday. Barometer still way up at 30.13, 95% humidity. Northeast winds at 3 miles an hour. And again, about a tenth of an inch here. And some very light showers falling, mostly just big raindrops right there, but still it's pretty chilly at 39 degrees from WCLU. You're on the Live and Local Morning Show. We've got the 6 o'clock morning edition continuing as we move forward straight ahead.
Everyone has the right to control their own future.
This is not the case if you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a big truck wreck. The insurance companies will take advantage of you.
We've recovered over $1 billion for our clients.
We're passionate about getting big dollar results for our clients.
Control starts with a call. Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others. Over $1 billion recovered for our clients in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Hughes & Coleman is proud to be the official injury lawyers of the Tennessee Titans. To celebrate, Hughes & Coleman is giving away 2 free club-level tickets to every Titans home game and suite tickets to select Titans games. All you have to do is go to titans.hughesandcoleman.com, titans.hughesandcoleman.com, and register for your chance to win. Valid for residents 18 years or older in Tennessee and Kentucky. See titans.hughesandcoleman.com for official rules. Principal office, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
At Metro by T-Mobile, you can save more. Choose from the largest selection of free 5G phones from brands you love, like Samsung, with 1 line of unlimited 5G for $40, period. Taxes and fees included. That's the lowest price in prepaid. Switch now and get both to save more, only at Metro. If congested, the fraction of users greater than 35 gigabytes per month may notice reduced speeds, and Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus T-Mobile due to prioritization. Video streams in SD requires eligible port-in. See store for details.
Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, November 15th, 6:12 now, 39 degrees. Welcome into WCLU Local News. I'm Brendan Crane. Great to have you with us today. As you've already heard a little bit this morning, already rain on the roadway, and keep that in mind on your commute this morning. A little bit cool out there, 39 degrees, but as you've heard us talk about all week, looks like that's the way we are going, and at least for the next little bit, we're not seeing that warm-up come back into the forecast. We are simply actually going the other direction. Already referencing a little bit of snow flurries perhaps in the coming days. The Glasgow School Board met in regular session inside Highland Elementary yesterday evening, where they would again receive an update on the South Green Elementary School construction project. Allison Cummings, who's the associate principal of Sherman Carter Barnhart Architects, presented the board with more photographs of the new school building and the progress being made there. Concrete planks have been installed in the classroom wing near the roof. ICF, which is insulated concrete form construction, it's being continued to the roof line, and the piano curve is beginning to take shape on the overhang of the new school's media center. CEO of Alliance Corporation Tommy Gum had initially told the board in a past meeting that construction on that roof it could begin in October, but due to facing a second concrete shortage, a lack of manpower, and the other unforeseen circumstances, that goal simply was not met.
I did report last month that the mason was getting behind, and so they did agree to work overtime and agreed to work the last 2, I don't want to say weekends, I'm not sure they worked on Sunday or not, but sometimes they do. But I know they worked on Saturdays for the last two weeks. So they did make up some of our, not all of our lost time, but some of it.
Gum believes they should start roofing the building the next week of the week of November 28th through December 2nd, but that all depends on an obstacle most builders face during the final months of the year, and as we all know, that's the weather.
We're a little weather dependent right now. Have to have certain temperatures to put the roof on, so we'll be a little bit at the mercy of the weather, but all in all, please.
And the school board, when asked if the new South Green Elementary School was still scheduled to be finished on time, Gumbs says that it looks like it's going to be.
We're still good on our target dates, yes.
The school board will meet for the final time in 2022 next month. That date or location, it has yet to be determined. Well, WCLU News has learned more information about the case involving a woman who allegedly killed her father. We have understanding yesterday that Miss Cheryl Leanne Bennett was in court before the judge yesterday, and according to some reports that we received from that court hearing, it looks like that the attorney there, her attorney, Johnny Bell, had requested a bond reduction from $500,000 to $50,000, but the judge took that under advisement, and Bennett remains lodged there at the Barron County Jail. Now, as for another court case that is still going on here locally, that's the case of Serenity Brown and Devin Pierce. Those two allegedly were involved in the death of an infant child. If you recall, from some months back, we reported that to you. Those folks were in court yesterday or were supposed to be there for a pretrial conference, but that was passed on till December 12th at 1 o'clock. So again, that's just some ongoing housekeeping items there for you, just to stay in the loop on where that is going. And we have received some more information as well. The Glasgow Police Department, of course, making an arrest earlier this weekend, and apparently that was at the Barron County Detention Center. Yes, another inmate allegedly beat up another inmate, as they're putting it. This other inmate, of course, was identified in a press release as Austin T. Brown, and according to an arrest citation that WCLU News received on that, it looks like Brown beat up another inmate there inside a cell in the early morning hours over the weekend, and that was apparently because he had, quote, told on his wife, unquote. Now again, that inmate that was severely assaulted, he had multiple face fractures and eventually had to be airlifted to the University of Louisville Hospital there in Louisville. That's all the information that we received from that citation. Brown eventually denying why he had any idea why he assaulted that other inmate when police asked him about that. 6:16, it's 39 degrees. It's Tuesday, November 15th. You're listening to WCLU News. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Injuries and illnesses that require immediate attention can happen anytime, any day of the week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care, total local care.
There's a lot of lookers at Hurt Auto Sales in Glasgow because there's a whole lot to look at in selection and in wonderful vehicles that you'd like to own. Bobby Lee Hurt's going to tell us the latest arrival.
That's right, Henry. We just got a 2016 Kia Soul. Small SUV, get probably around 35 mile per gallon, price for $15,900. A 2000 Jeep Cherokee, small SUV, four-wheel drive, priced at $16,900. Got an 08 GMC Yukon, two-wheel drive, lots of room, only $10,900. A 2013 BMW 328i, hardtop convertible, black with black leather, only $16,900.
All four of those, you're talking about lots of car, but not a lot of money. My goodness, how do you do it?
That's right. We have some really good prices, Henry, and some excellent cars.
Come and see. Test drive them all. They want you to do that here at Hurt Auto Sales, located at 621 West Main in Glasgow. Lots to see, lots to look at, lots to talk about, and the motto which keeps people coming back:
no pain when you trade with Hurt.
Healthcare changes all the time, but at Hatchet Home Medical, we're a consistent friend to help you navigate the road to good health. We are your headquarters for all types of equipment and supplies to let you recuperate at home, and we keep up with all the changes. So let us file the paperwork for insurance reimbursement. Hatchet Home Medical's huge showroom and warehouse on Park Avenue in Glasgow lets us stock what you need, and our trained technicians are courteous and helpful when setting up and instructing you or your caretakers. We feature a 24-hour on-call phone number to help in emergencies. And remember, all healthcare professionals, Hatchet's Home Medical has the area's largest selection of nurses' uniforms and supplies, featuring the best of name brands. Whether you need a wheelchair, walker, hospital bed, or other assistive device, the name to remember is Hatchet Home Medical in the Park Avenue Shopping Center in Glasgow. Phone 651-9551.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us this morning, Tuesday, November 15th. I'm Brennan Crane. You're listening to WCLU Local News. The Glasgow Police Department says they're hosting a Holiday Heroes toy and food drive, and that's running through December 6th. They're asking for you to get involved in that. They say, quote, "We are collecting holiday donations for the residents of Barron County, and we will fill as many requests as possible based on the donations received," unquote. Now, you can be a holiday hero by donating a new unwrapped toy for children aged newborn to 16 years old, or donate non-perishable food items. The drop-off locations, they'll be the Glasgow Police Department at 101 Pin Oak Lane. That's straight across the street from Zaxby's here in Glasgow. The Glasgow Fire Department Station 1 at 203 South Broadway Street. That's where the former Glasgow Police Department was located, and of course there where the Glasgow Dispatch is now. And station number 2, they're at 130 Cross Street. That's the station closest to Glasgow Municipal Cemetery, right there along Rogers Wells Boulevard. So again, those are the drop-off locations. Get involved with that. It's a good cause. And we do have more information to you as well about gas prices this week. The AAA gas report being released yesterday, of course. This week's average gas price looks like it's $3.40 per gallon. That's 5 cents lower this week. The average price last week was $3.45, of course, and it looks like this time last year, $3.06. Across the region, how it's shaping up: Bowling Green, $3.36, Elizabethtown, $3.25, Louisville, $3.82, Owensboro at $3.24, and Paducah, $3.32. Bridge, Kentucky says they're in need of sleeping cot donations, and they're asking for the community's help in that. This will, of course, be used for the emergency homeless shelter. They're looking for mainly adult-sized cots, but they say that they do have a few children staying this season at their shelter. They say in a Facebook post, quote, "We have seen lots of great discussion around Glasgow needing a shelter, and while we currently provide the only running shelter in the city, we are always in need of volunteers, hygiene supplies, sleep cots, and bedding. You can help today by stopping by to learn about the homeless shelter, donating, or simply spreading the word." And, of course, they have that information there where you can drop that off. It's at their office, 603 West Main Street here in Glasgow, Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So they'll be there today if you'd like to donate sleeping cots for their homeless shelter there and their winter shelter for those folks. 622, 39 degrees. You've been listening to WCLU News. Don't forget, download our app, available free on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store. Same thing that's on our website as well, WCLUradio.com. And let us know about something that you think we should cover or something we should know about. Do that at our website. Have a great day.
News, weather, sports, and more. Weekdays on Good Morning Live and Local on WCLU at WCLUradio.com and Facebook.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Another Republican is blaming Mitch McConnell. Texas Senator Ted Cruz yesterday said on his podcast, McConnell is more interested in his own ambition than the GOP's success following the party's disappointing performance in the midterms. Cruz said the Kentucky senator would rather be leader than have a Republican majority. He is one of several figures in the Republican Party to target McConnell following last week's results in elections across the country. Two activist groups are speaking out against last week's sentencing of a black militia group leader convicted of pointing an assault rifle at two task force officers who were monitoring a Louisville protest. John Johnson of Cincinnati, also known as Grandmaster J, was sentenced in U.S. District Court a week ago. He'll serve over 7 years in federal prison for his actions during a Breonna Taylor protest. Kathleen Parks of the National Action Network tells WLKY-TV,
"There was no sense of threat. From our perspective, if there was a sense of threat, Grandmaster J would not be alive today, as history has shown us what happens to black men in America when law enforcement senses a threat."
Governor Andy Beshear will make an announcement today about medical marijuana in Kentucky. That, according to Beshear's office, who have said the governor will make the announcement this afternoon. It will come after he hinted at legalizing the drug for medical use earlier in the year. The announcement is scheduled for 1 o'clock this afternoon. It's going to be live streamed on YouTube and Facebook. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to Harry's.
In my family, I'm the planner. From the weekly grocery list to the family vacation, everything, all the details. Though planning for the end was something I left off my list. Then a friend told me about South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow. She said even though it wasn't on her to-do list, seeing them was one of the best planning decisions she'd ever made. South Central Kentucky Monuments showed her the different options they have available, even an image of the finished monument. And since South Central Kentucky Monuments does all the stone carving in-house, it cost much less than she expected. They made the process easy to create the exact memorial she wanted. So my husband and I made a plan to see them. We are so happy with our decision. We encouraged our family and friends to do the same. It'll be the best planning decision you ever make.
Buy direct and save money at South Central Kentucky Monuments at the corner of East Front Street and Columbia Avenue. Family owned in Glasgow since 2010.
Most people will hesitate before planning a funeral in advance. The funeral? We'll arrange that when the time comes. But there's a lot to be said for advance planning. For one thing, you have the peace of mind of knowing that your arrangements have all been made. You can consider the options when your mind is clear, and you'll have the relief of knowing that your loved one will be well cared for. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
You're listening to Good Morning Live on WCLU and on the Big Willie. It's 39 degrees, 27 minutes after the 6 o'clock hour. We've had about 1/10 of an inch of rain and still more rain we're going to be dealing with off and on through midday today. In area funeral announcements this hour, Bobby Allen Ritter, age 65, of Glasgow, died Saturday at Jewish Hospital in Louisville. He was born in 1957 to the late Paul Allen Ritter and Janie Lawrence Ritter. Bobby was a Carhartt truck driver for several years. In the last few years, he helped transport Amish from place to place. He was a member of the New Beginnings Baptist Church. Survivors include 2 daughters, Stacy Nicole Dillard and Heather Kristen Ritter, both of Glasgow. 2 grandchildren, Joyce Nicole Abston and James Thomas Dillard. 1 brother, Timothy Allen Ritter of Indiana. 3 sisters, Becky Phillips, Wanda Ritter, and Dee Dee Ritter, all of Glasgow, and several nieces, nephews, and cousin. The funeral service for Bobby Allen Ritter will be held at 6 p.m. on Wednesday evening at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, with cremation to follow. Visitation will be Wednesday morning from 11 until the time for the funeral service. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home is in charge of those arrangements. Neil Wayne Boyd, age 83, of Bowling Green, died Sunday. The Barron County native had a great passion for the Lord and was very proud of being a pastor. He was instrumental in founding the Unity Trinity Full Gospel, where he served as pastor. Though Neil wasn't necessarily a deer hunter, he enjoyed riding around and watching deer grazing the fields. One of Neil's most important jobs in life was being a father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and great-great-grandfather. He leaves behind a legacy of good humor, great one-liners, and a big heart. Survivors include 4 sons, Richard, Billy, Joe, and Bobby Boyd, 16 grandchildren, 33 great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. His brothers, Jimmy, Gary, Daryl, and Danny Boyd, as well as his 2 sisters, Ann Pollard and Joe Carolyn Elvington. Neil also leaves behind his beloved fur babies, Sophie, Linus, and Bella. The service for Neil Boyd will be Wednesday at 11, with burial to follow in the Bowling Green Gardens. Visitation is from 4 until 8 today, resuming Wednesday morning at the J.C. Kirby Broadway Chapel. Expressions of sympathy can take the form of donations to the Barber Way General Baptist Church. Shirley Ann Montgomery, age 86, of Glasgow, died Friday at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. She was the co-owner of both Palmore Studios, where she was a photographer for 55 years, and Montgomery Restaurant, formerly known as Holmes Restaurant. Shirley was also a member of the Eastern Star and one of the last charter members of the Glenview Christian Church. Survivors include a daughter, Sandra Claywell, a son, Marty Wooten, a stepson, Joe Montgomery Jr., one granddaughter, Molly Leanne Nichols. The funeral services for Shirley Montgomery will be Thursday at 2 at A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation begins Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. Donations in Shirley's memory can be made to the Glenview Christian Church. Nicole Lee Bratcher, age 37, of Brownsville, died at her home on Saturday. The Edmonson County native was a certified medical assistant and a member of the Temple View General Baptist Church. Survivors include her husband, Randall Bratcher, a daughter, Kaylee Ann Bratcher, a son, William Cole Bratcher, her mother, Kathy York Menton, a brother, Jimmy Menton, a sister, Mary Alvarado, maternal grandmother, Beatrice Johnson, mother-in-law, Karen Bratcher, and several aunts, uncles, and cousins. The funeral service for Nicole Bratcher will be at 11 o'clock Thursday at the Grayville Funeral Home. Burial will follow in the Satterfield Cemetery. Visitation begins at 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon and continues at 10 o'clock on Thursday morning. Sarah Faye Gillenwater Brown, age 76, of Tompkinsville, died at her home on Saturday. She was born and raised in Fountain Run and was unwaveringly devoted to her family and church. She is survived by her daughter, Carrie Jo Eaton, her daughter, Kelly Moore, son-in-law, Allie Wilson, her grandson, Joseph Eaton, granddaughters, Sarah West and Olivia Katie Jo Moore, great-granddaughters, Allie Jo Eaton and Elena West, great-grandsons, Wade Eaton and Emmett West, a brother, Alan Johnson. The funeral service for Sarah Faye Brown will be conducted Wednesday at 1 o'clock at the Bartley & Sons Funeral Home in Tompkinsville. Burial will follow at the Beautiful Home Cemetery. Visitation is today, beginning at 1 o'clock, and continues Wednesday until the funeral hour at 8. The family requests expressions of sympathy be given to the Amelia's Run at the Kentucky Organ Donor Affiliates. Funeral services for Jimmy Wood, 83, of Smiths Grove, will be at 1 o'clock Wednesday at A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation begins at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Service for Granville Sanders, 86, of Mammoth Cave, will be at 11 o'clock Wednesday at Grayville Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Hill Grove Cemetery. Visitation takes place from 10 until 7 tonight, resuming after 10 on Wednesday. Service for Morgan Brooks Smith, 34, of Tompkinsville, will be held at the Tompkinsville First Baptist Church today at 1. Burial to follow in the Monroe County Memorial Lawn. Visitation is from 8 until the time of service. The service for Brian Monroe, age 52, of Bowling Green, will be at 6 p.m. tonight at the Hardy & Son Funeral Home's Bowling Green Chapel. Visitation from 3 until 6 following the service. His wishes to be cremated will be honored. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com and on the WCLU app. No login is necessary.
The traditional Christmas open house at Jeff's Country Florists and Gifts continues with a big Christmas celebration November 18th and 19th. Stop in, be jolly, and say hi. Also bring your camera for free pictures with Santa from 1 to 3 on the 19th. Enjoy refreshments and 30% off the entire store both days, Friday, November 18th, 9 to 7, and Saturday, November 19th, 9 to 3 at Jeff's Country Florist and Gifts, 4911 Scottsville Road in Glasgow.
For over 25 years, Window World has provided quality products for homeowners around the country. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, a vinyl finish means they will never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable composite frame that will never rot. When it comes time to replace your windows or doors, trust Window World. Call 270-780-9600.
Simply the best for less. Window World.
634, 39 degrees. Good morning live from WCLU. Let's turn to local sports. Glasgow High School's Caroline Murphy signed a letter of intent to run track with Murray State University, surrounded by friends and family this past Friday. The senior track standout has broken several school records, including the high jump, 100-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles, and the 4x100 relay. Murphy has also been named to several all-state teams, and she holds varsity letters in basketball, soccer, and track. Now, the track season won't kick off until next spring, but Murphy's already preparing to set new records.
I'm really going to try for that state record, but we'll see what happens. I just want to get a little bit better each year.
Practice on the high jump and occasional indoor meets take up plenty of her off-season time, Murphy said. John Vaughn, who is the track coach at Glasgow High School, said Murphy is good at everything. He reflected on her career as a track team member from the early days when she was an eager sixth-grade student. That eagerness blossomed into a standout athlete and eventual state champion.
So we got to state, and she hits that her goal was 5.6. And it was the last jump of the day, and she won it. It was very exciting.
Murphy was presented a state championship ring during the ceremony following those accomplishments earlier this summer. Murphy said she plans to pursue a business-related major, likely business administration or marketing.
I just love the environment at Murray State. I loved the coaches. I just had a great time when I visited. I visited twice, and it just seemed like this perfect place for me.
Congratulations to Caroline Murphy, Glasgow High School student, signing a letter of intent with Murray State University. And that's a check of local sports.
It's fall, and that means football. Yes! Our favorite teams are ready to play. It's also time to make sure you have the fastest internet. SCRTC has internet speeds up to 1 gig for fiber customers. And don't miss your favorite team this season when they play on TV. Ask about SCRTC's digital cable, including the sports package, which is now streaming with the MyStream TV app. Now, go cheer on your favorite team this football season and let SCRTC keep you in the game with internet, phone, TV, and security this season. Yes!
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by Key Cleaners on Happy Valley Road in Glasgow.
Protect your investment in your clothes and your image by having your clothes professionally dry cleaned at Key Cleaners in Glasgow. The Catron family has years of experience in caring for the most delicate of garments, as well as drapes and sheers, spreads and comforters, with convenient hours of 6:45 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and Saturday 8 till 1. Key 1-hour cleaners, Happy Valley Road, Glasgow, where we accept Visa and MasterCard.
Waking up this morning with a temperature reading of 39 degrees, kind of a cold rain, a chill to it out there this morning for sure. So, first of all, let's talk about where we're going from here. Scattered showers today, a high of 49 degrees. The precip chance is going to be 50-50. Right now, there's big old raindrops coming down real slow. Be aware of that as you're out and about. And, you come up to an intersection and you're trying to brake and there's a big pile of leaves out there. You can slide a long ways. Let's factor that in, okay? Tonight, going to be mostly cloudy. We'll drop to the 32-degree mark. Wednesday, there's a chance of an afternoon flurry. That's right, a flurry and a high of 41. Wednesday night, still a chance of flurries, a more convincing low of 24 degrees. And then Thursday, sunny and a high of 39 degrees. We had 1/10 of an inch of rain in our rain bucket so far. The folks over at Burkesville have had 1,600. They lead the way. The rain, if you look at all the rainfall totals in Kentucky, there's nothing in East Kentucky, nothing in West Kentucky. It just kind of plowed up the middle of the state, and that's and we're in the middle of that here. 30.13 is the pressure, 95% humidity. East winds at 3:39. WCLU weather brought to you by Key Cleaners. Keep your clothes ready for Thanksgiving or whatever the change of season is. They got it down pat there at Key.
Hello, I'm Larry Lee with Ag Headline News on Brownfield. Weather in most key U.S. growing areas last week was conducive to harvest activity, but snow and bitterly cold temperatures this week in parts of the Midwest and Plains might mean some of that corn and beans stay in the field until spring. As of Sunday, 93% of corn and 96% of soybeans are in the bin. More news after this.
Hello everyone, this is Joe and Rachel Dotson from Best One Tire in Glasgow.
We wanted to personally thank you for supporting our tire and repair business at 100 Shawn Lane.
Many of our customers come to us for ag and truck tire, but did you know we are capable of serving any size car or pickup?
With over 300 stores behind us, our buying power means we can pass on to you the very best pricing in our area.
We have many tires and tubes in stock, and we can do alignments on just about anything that rolls.
I was raised in Metcalfe County. After being away for a few years, Joe and I brought our family back to the area, and nothing brings us greater pleasure than servicing our neighbors when they are broke down in the field or on the road. We are here for you. We want to help you by taking the stress out of buying your next tires. We will work with any budget, anytime.
Come in and find out why we are the fastest growing tire company in Glasgow. We love this business. We love this town. Pretty soon you will be coming to our new store out on Highway 90 right here in Glasgow.
Best One Tire and Service, creating one raving fan at a time.
Livestock economist Scott Brown from the University of Missouri says there are opportunities for U.S. pork demand to grow globally.
You know, are we going to really start seeing the hole that we started to see out of that last report? Will that continue?
Greg McBride with Allendale says U.S. farm exports topped $196 billion in fiscal year 2022. That's up 14% from the previous year.
Some of this has to do with part of that trade deal with China, the carryover as we finished out 2021 and saw sales that were pushed into 2022. And then we also did see pretty high inflation. That's still something we're obviously talking about.
The first major rule changes made to the H-2A guest worker program take effect this week. And Michigan Farm Bureau's John Crayon says
more and more farmers are looking at it as really the only option to find workers they need. But ultimately, we know that more farmers are going to be reliant on H-2A as we continue to move forward, because that's the trend we continue to see with labor availability.
I'm Larry Lee, Brownfield.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Good morning live from WCLU. Let me get that voice cleared right there. We got to get out here and talk about some birthdays as we are up and running here. 39 degrees. It is 6:42. Hopefully you're running on time today. And be aware we got some light rain shower activity falling here in south central Kentucky. Okay, today so far we know that Greg Hollander has a birthday, Kristen Bale, Josh Payne. It's the big 45 for Chad Settle. I had his proud pappy calling up to wish Chad Settle a happy 45th birthday earlier this morning. We got Pam Landrum, Donna Kenslow, E.G. Landers, Louise Garrett. James Denton has a birthday today, too. We have one anniversary couple thus far. It is Betty and Ewing Hopkins. Mr. and Miss Hopkins, a sweet couple, having their 65th wedding anniversary today. What about that? 651-9149, 800-956-1023, and online here from WCLUradio.com. It is James Denton Day on the radio. James is a fine fella. He's got a lot of buddies around here, and certainly the request was that we try to get him patted on the back on his birthday so that people can remind James Denton that he is as good as gold. You take care of that today, won't you, from his friends here at WCLU, and a little taste of Texas where they take care of you every time you dine the Texas way.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
Happy Tuesday morning. Couple of things I want you to know about today at 3:30. The Barron County Middle School Council is going to meet. This is the site-based council, I should say. Starting this morning at 8 o'clock, the DAV is assisting disabled veterans with their claims. They'll do that until noon today. They're going to do that down at the Lyra B. Mitchell Clubhouse. TJ Sampson Stroke Ahead Support Group meets this afternoon at 4:30. If you've had a stroke or suffered some type of brain trauma, call Ms. Emily Grinstead here at 659-5650 to ask questions about that. And the Caverna Kiwanis Club has their bi-monthly meeting at 6 o'clock tonight at the Caverna High School Library. Lots going on. Don't be thinking there's nothing to do, because there is. That's how we work in advance on the archives, getting out and doing things that we'll report on later on. That's right, the archives today brought to you by your friends at Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. History is made by the hard work that stands the test of time. We're going to share some of that time testing with Sam Terry straight ahead.
When there's work to be done, you get to it. And Joseph A. Wade Incorporated is here to help. They repair and make hydraulic hoses and repair hydraulic cylinders. If there's a problem, the Joseph A. Wade hydraulic team will help you find a solution. They're also a distributor for Croyle products. Plus, black and orange nitrile gloves are back in stock. Locally owned and operated, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated, here to help since 1985. Located in the curve of Industrial Drive in Glasgow.
Good morning live, WCLU. Say good morning to Sam Terry. Hey, Sam, how you doing? Wait a minute. That's not right. I had the wrong buttons down there. Hey, Sam, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you today, Henry?
I think things are going well. It's a cool drip out there today. If you're going out, just be aware of that. Nothing that's you can get around that without any trouble whatsoever. But anyway, I thought I'd just tell you about that, sir.
Okay.
Now, we've got archives to talk about, but we also got a special event coming up on Thursday evening, the Barron County Historical Society, which I know that you are certainly very involved in keeping the pace of. And the Historical Society has a very special presentation coming up here on Thursday. Why don't you tell all the audience about that, sir?
Well, Dr. Mel Stewart Hankla from Russell Springs will be coming here to present a program. He's been here previously and was very well received. This time he's going to be focusing on the Kentucky rifle, of which is his expertise, but specifically he's going to be talking about rifles and rifle makers of the Barron.
Okay.
So our general area right here. And we've all read little things in various histories and heard stories passed down in families, but it will be nice to hear more about it from the expert.
It sounds to me, and as I recall, this gentleman has studied this and gotten a lot of stories associated with some of the development of rifles around here, and it should be a very inspiring program on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock, and I know you want a lot of folks to get out there and enjoy this presentation by Dr. Mel Stewart Hankla from Russell Springs. If Sam recommends it, then you really ought to go. That's what my motto is, Sam. And people will enjoy that for sure. All right, let me put this piece of paper up and get some more stuff we can shuffle with here. We have fascinating things in the archives today. Let me go back 100 years. You ready to go? Speaking about guns, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. 100 years ago this day in the Glasgow Times, the news is that fox hunters of Barron, Allen, Metcalfe, and Monroe counties, at the invitation of Mr. W.A. Huggins of Cave City, gathered at Pruitt's Knob last week for a chase. With a famous lot of dogs on hand and an equally noted bunch of hunters, the affair proved to be a rare treat. Over hill and dale, Renard was chased, and the beautiful autumn night in the full moonlight lent magic to the deep baying of the hounds in pursuit. And only true hunters able to distinguish his individual dog in the chase appreciates a fox hunt, such as was staged by Mr. Huggins, who is an expert of the chase. Boy, that sounds like an event that a lot of hunters would have looked forward to there 100 years ago, Sam, over on Pruitt's Knob.
It certainly does. Wow.
And I was thinking about that when I was preparing for today. You know, a chase is tough enough on flat land. But if you're chasing up and down Pruitt's Knob, you're gonna have to do a little more in your own right, not just the dogs, in doing some of the chasing over there.
Yes, requirement of vigorous participation.
Indeed, and it sounds to me like it's a nice picture, the hounds baying in the moonlight at Pruitt's Knob. 1932, the news is the new 1933 Chevrolet is going to be ready for the market in the latter part of December. Surpasses any effort yet attempted in the way a car should meet all the needs of the car owner. The new car will be known as the Leader, and the builders meant to make just what the term implies. The Starter Raider. There's a term you don't hear very often. The Starter Raider is a new feature that owners are going to appreciate. This feature completely eliminates an engine stall. There are so many new and useful improvements that we cannot mention them all. If interested, call at Ideal Chevrolet and let them explain. Wouldn't it be neat to read if there was some literature around for that 1933 Chevy?
It would. And I did a little Googling about that, and there were a lot of improvements being made in automobile production in the early 30s, and it is very interesting.
The Starter Raider, 1932's newest improvements. 1942, this is the news of the birth of Carol Ann Gray. This day she was born. She weighed 8 pounds. She arrived at Community Hospital, actually Saturday, November the 14th. Her mother, the former Ruth Martin Cisco, is staying with her parents, Mr. and Ms. C.B. Cisco, while her husband is training down at Clearwater, Florida. You know, we've been doing the 40s. We have many stories of these young couples having their first child, maybe, and the man was over somewhere fighting the war or preparing to fight the war, and the young mother was here to be taken care of by her kinfolks. That's kind of just the way it was in 1942. 1952, Sam, news in the archives in the Glasgow Times about some ex-Scots on the center grid squad. All right, here's the translation. Glasgow's contribution to the Center College football squad, which is to play its homecoming game with Georgetown on Saturday, include co-captain Carroll Holmes. He's a 183-pound senior fullback who was the team's leading scorer last season. Powell Gillenwater, 175-pound sophomore end, who is one of the finest pass receivers at center in many years. And Henry Dickinson, promising 156-pound freshman halfback. The players were coached at Glasgow High School by Coach James Brevard, who himself was a center graduate. That's the way you build a legacy, it sounds like to me, Sam Terry.
It certainly is, and Coach Brevard certainly did that with Glasgow Athletics and Center College as well.
Indeed, some big names that went on to make a difference around here in every walk of life. But they were getting quite the education and quite a great time in their football careers, too, in 1952. 1962, in the Glasgow Times, Glasgow attorney and former Barron County Judge Louis B. Nunn was savoring U.S. Senator Thurston Morton's re-election victory, of which he was the state campaign chairman. Nunn made the headlines when he stated, quote, "At this time, I have no intention of becoming a candidate for governor in 1963. When asked for more commentary, Nunn said, quote, "My statement on the election night was, at this time I have no intention of becoming a candidate for governor in 1963. This statement does not preclude me from becoming a candidate, and I have never made a statement to the effect that I would not be a candidate." Of course, history tells us that Governor Nunn did become a candidate for governor in 1963. He was defeated in his first run, but he didn't get long to savor that victory of being the campaign chairman for Senator Morton. Everybody wanted to know what he was going to do, and he didn't. That kind of took away from some of his celebrating, but there was a lot to celebrate there for sure in '62, Sam.
So he was certainly a rising star in 1962, and a lot of excitement in Barron and surrounding counties about his political activities.
In 1972, this is not a mark of distinction, but it is a piece of history. This day in 1972, Sam Terry, the first fatal accident on the Cumberland Parkway occurred this morning when 19-year-old Michael Hughes Davenport of Bowling Green was killed in a one-car accident striking a bridge 2.4 miles west of Glasgow. We knew there had to be a first, and nobody wanted to achieve that honor, but unfortunately here in 1972, the first ever fatal accident on the Cumberland Parkway occurred.
Bad story.
It is. 1982, this was the day in the archives when we were getting ready for a big matchup as Glasgow High School was going to meet Mayfield for the Class AA Region 1 Championship. And, of course, always going down to Western Kentucky to play football is always a struggle because they play good football down there. But in 1982, the Scotties went down there to Mayfield, and they won that contest by a final score of 6-0, taking the AA Region 1 championship. Exciting times for the Scotty Gridiron Club. Let's see, Sam. This day in 1992, we have some information about Glasgow High School holding their annual Soccer Awards Banquet Wednesday. 1992 honored were David Peden, Ken Hattori, Les Bale, Danny Downing, Mark Wilson, Chad Davis, and Travis Meacham. Some very fine young soccer players there honored at the soccer banquet. My goodness, 1992. That's been a while when you think about it.
And in some of the early days of soccer becoming extremely popular here in Glasgow and Barron County.
Those youngsters were pioneering, actually, for the people that would come after them. 2002, big announcement by South Central Bank. This was the day that Sue Young joined South Central Bank as its newest employee. Of course, Miss Sue has made a difference, continues to be there at South Central Bank, but this was the day that marked that beginning in 2002. And this day in 2012, Miss Chrissy Cole Fields was reelected as the Barron Circuit Court Clerk. That was in 2012, a position that she holds and does a great job at to this day. All right. What have I messed up, Sam?
I don't think a thing.
Well, you're usually good at letting me know, and you're very, understanding when I do, but I want to be sure that we get everything correct and we connect all the dots correctly, I guess, too, sir. Don't forget the Historical Society's event coming up on Thursday. Dr. Hankla, and particularly if you've ever wanted to know more about the rifles and the history of rifles in this neighborhood, apparently he is going to enlighten us a great deal. Sam, have a good day, sir. Appreciate you joining us.
Always a pleasure, Henry.
And we'll have another good conversation coming up around here tomorrow on the archives. Thank you, sir. Sam's here on behalf of Joseph A. Wade, Industrial Hardware Services. We appreciate their sponsorship of the archives. 658 Good Morning Live.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
Attention home buyers and homeowners. If you're shopping for a mortgage or considering refinancing your home, call one of Kentucky's top mortgage lenders, South Central Bank. Recognized as the area's best mortgage company, they're ready to help you walk through the borrowing process, step by step, with experienced lenders and a full range of loan solutions that suit your budget. South Central Bank can help make your dreams become reality. Contact them today. You can even apply online at southcentralbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
These showers are going to linger throughout the day here in south central Kentucky. They'll lighten up by the middle part of the day, though. Scattered showers and a high of 49. The precip chance is 50-50. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low down to 32. On Wednesday, there is a chance of afternoon flurries. 41 is going to be the high as a few little flakes flurry around here. And that flurry chance will continue on Wednesday night, but a more serious low of 24 degrees. Sunny on Thursday and 39. That's right where we are now at WCLU. Weather brought to you by your friends at South Central Bank.
Andersen Windows and Doors with Stormwatch Protection are designed to meet building codes for coastal locations from Maine to Miami, Gainesville to Galveston, and they're on guard even when no one is home. Andersen Windows and Doors with Stormwatch Protection. The uglier the weather gets, the more beautiful they become.
See the full line of Andersen Windows and Doors at Glasgow Building Supply, 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Andersen Windows. Come home to Andersen.
If we're truly devoted to something or someone, we'll be willing to make sacrifices. If you want to know what you really love, all you have to do is investigate and notice where you're giving your time, your energy, your money, and your dreams. You'll begin to succeed in this life when you begin to realize that your goal is worth the sacrifice. What are you holding on to that needs to be sacrificed? What sacrifices do you need to make in order to get closer to God? And still, what sacrifices do you need to make to bring your family closer to God? Jesus Christ said, speaking of us in John 10:15, I lay down my life for the sheep. Christ loved us so much, he sacrificed himself. How much do we love him? Are we willing to sacrifice? This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
Thank you, Bart. Good morning live, 39 degrees. We've been talking a lot about cool temperatures. I think we should remind everybody that the Avenue Church is hosting a children's coat giveaway this Saturday, November the 19th, from 9 until noon. Area children ages 3 through high school are going to receive a free coat, hat, and gloves, and scarf. Signs are going to be posted upon entering. The church is located there at 315 Columbia Avenue in Glasgow. A nice and much-needed gesture by the Avenue Church. Also, the Glasgow Baptist Church is having a Thanksgiving meal starting at 6 p.m. on Wednesday evening, November the 16th. The church is providing the meat, dressing, rolls, coffee, tea, and water. Bring a side of vegetables, a salad, or dessert to that event. And coming up this morning at 10 o'clock, the Amar Homemakers are going to meet out at the Extension office. They'll have on the agenda today making Christmas ornaments, glass etching, herbs, digital photography, and cooking for two. Dues to join are just $10 for the year. You can call 678-5644 and learn more about the Amar Homemakers.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/advantage. netsuite.com/advantage.
Little Caesars presents delicious duos like bacon and eggs, spaghetti and meatballs, and of course peanut butter and jelly. Now, Little Caesars brings you a large, hot and ready slices and sticks. A delicious duo featuring 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, together with 8 tasty slices of Italian cheese sticks, plus crazy sauce for only $6. Little Caesars hot and ready slices and sticks is just $6. Available every day when you walk in between 4 and 8 at Little Caesars.
Pizza. At participating locations plus tax. Prices may vary.
Good morning from Forever Communications, WCLU Glasgow, W276VO Glasgow, WLLI Muffordville, WLYE Glasgow, W253BN Glasgow. Good morning live.
Here we go, 651-9149, 800-956-1023. As we're going to ask a question, you provide the answer. And if you're a first-time winner or first time attempting to you can attempt to win and lose, but anyway, we're trying to get some new folks in here by saying, look, call in and win if you've never won before, and let's create an experience. So let me ask the question, you provide the answer. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. This 19th century American literature classic was originally going to be called The Pathetic Family, but it wound up being called what? This is a 19th century literary classic. Originally going to be called The Pathetic Family, but it wound up being named what? If you've never won trivia before, call up here and answer that question, and you're going to win a pizza from the Pizza folks at Little Caesars, okay? Hello, have you ever won trivia before? I'm not sure what that means. WCLU, have you ever won before?
Long time ago.
Well, no, we're doing first-time winners only, okay? Okay, if you've never, ever won, call in. We're talking about a 19th century American literary classic. It was originally going to be called The Pathetic Family, but that's not what the name of that, and it is a classic, but it's just interesting to see how they do those things. WCLU, have you ever won trivia before?
No.
Well, then why don't you give me the answer?
I'll try. Little Women.
That is absolutely correct. And who is this speaking?
Jennifer Russell.
Hey, Jennifer, how you doing?
Doing okay on this rainy day. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Now, welcome to the Winners Club right here, Jennifer. I thought this was I'll be honest with you, I've been trying to ask a few tougher questions just to kind of, see how smart people are. But this is true. Have you ever read the book Little Women?
Oh, yes.
Now
yes.
This is.
But I didn't know that part. I had to Google.
That's okay.
It.
That's an allowed.
I didn't know that fact on it, but yeah, I did read it.
Yeah. Well, it's
back in school.
Yeah. Well, to me, and of course, none of us knew Louisa May Alcott, but she sounds pretty interesting because the working title. What happened was there's a publisher named Thomas Niles. And he wrote to Louisa May Alcott, asked her to write a book for girls. That's right. They asked her to write a book for girls, as this is what she said. She said that she didn't think much of the idea. I never liked girls or knew many except my sisters. Said she wrote this in her journal. But her family needed the money anyway, so Louisa May Alcott began to work on a book. At first, she called it The Pathetic Family. When it was
that's a new slant on writing a book.
Yeah, that's right. When it was published in 1868, it was published under the title of Little Women. What about that, Jennifer? So she must have been a card. Hey, I don't really like girls. I don't really want to write a book about girls, but my family needs the money. So I'll write it. I'll call it The Pathetic Family.
I didn't know that.
But if you've read the book, which I have many years ago, it's a much warmer book than that, isn't it, Jennifer?
Exactly is.
All right. Well, congratulations on being a first-time winner. Hang on. I'll get your address if you let me put you on hold just a second, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer Russell, first-time trivia winner today. It is indeed the 19th century American literary classic. They said, well, how about let's call it The Pathetic Family. Now, I don't find that as a very intriguing title, but certainly Little Women is, and it turned out to be. We'll play tomorrow. Why don't you come back and show us how smart you are, too?
CBS News Brief. At the G20 summit in Indonesia today, Russia was on the ropes. CBS's Stephen Portnoy is there.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says he wants to see a just end of the war based on the international rule of law. To liberate his country, he says the fight will have to go on a while longer. Zelensky said he's convinced the Russians can be stopped.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is not at the summit. CBS News projects Democrat Katie Hobbs will defeat Republican Kari Lake in the governor's race in Arizona. Bill Gates chairs the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors.
We count the votes and we report the votes. We don't call races.
Donald Trump has missed subpoena deadlines from the January 6th committee, but Loyola Law's Lori Levinson says he's probably not in jeopardy.
Trump has sued the committee, claiming that he should not have to comply with subpoenas. Assuming that they get through that, the committee then has to refer this to the Justice Department for a contempt citation.
CBS News Brief. I'm Christopher.
Injuries and illnesses that require immediate attention can happen anytime, any day of the week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care. Total local care.
Attention home buyers and homeowners. If you're shopping for a mortgage or considering refinancing your home, call one of Kentucky's top mortgage lenders, South Central Bank. Recognized as the area's best mortgage company, they're ready to help you walk through the borrowing process, step by step, with experienced lenders and a full range of loan solutions that suit your budget. South Central Bank can help make your dreams become reality. Contact them today. You can even apply online at southcentralbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, November 15th, 7:11 now, 39 degrees. Welcome into WCLU Local News. I'm Brennan Crane. It's great to have you with us today on this very busy Tuesday. Rainy out there this morning, a little bit chilly to the start of your morning. Looks like that high today is only going to peak there at about the mid-40s range, and rain is going to be sticking around in that forecast. Looks like at this point we are going to see a 100% chance of rain for most of today. Patchy fog before 1 o'clock this afternoon, and by tonight looks like we will have cloudy skies and a low of 32. Heading toward the end of the week, though, that is where it's going to get really chilly. Looks like that Friday evening forecast is still shaping up to be really chilly. 18 degrees and partly cloudy by your Friday evening. And as we trek through all the way to next week already, we're looking at forecasts still in the mid to upper 40s for our daytime highs. In news this hour, WCLU News has learned more information about an incident that happened early Sunday morning at the Barron County Detention Center. An inmate there was flown to the University of Louisville Hospital after an alleged assault. Glasgow police say they responded to the jail sometime after 1:30 a.m. with Barron Metcalf EMS. An arrest citation says that local protocol insists that police respond when EMS is called there to the jail. Now, upon the officer's arrival, he noticed a man had been, quote, severely beaten, unquote. An arrest citation narrative goes on to describe that scene inside the intake room at the jail. Staff, they were dressing the assaulted man, and police writing that that victim was not able to speak and his eyes were swollen shut. Now, the man was also noted to be covered in blood and had a large lump on his left cheek. He was also unrecognizable compared to his booking photo. Now, a review of the jail video, it eventually showed inmate Austin T. Brown had walked from one side of the cell allegedly to the victim's bunk, where he then wrapped his legs around the other inmate and began to punch him in the face multiple times. He was on the victim for about 3 minutes. Now, police go on to describe that victim eventually had to be transported to the University of Louisville Hospital. After he was transported to the local hospital, he had multiple facial fractures. Brown, of course, he's already lodged in the jail, but he was cited for additional charges, including an assault charge after this alleged incident. Well, looks like construction's continuing there on the South Green Elementary School, and builders are confident that is on par right now to be going forward in the coming months. Of course, we've been following this construction of the South Green Elementary School now for several months. The Glasgow School Board has been, of course, going through with building this new school. Looks like members of the school board last night, they heard from architects and general contractors at their regular meeting, and among those presenting there were Allison Cummings, who's the associate principal architect of Sherman Carter Barnhart Architects, and Tommy Gum, the CEO of Alliance Corporation. Now, Cummings showed the board more photographs of the construction progress, including the installation of the concrete planks there in the classroom wing near the roof, construction of that insulated concrete form along the roof line, and the shaping curve near the media center. Gum had said in a past meeting that construction on the roof, it could begin in October, but due to facing a second concrete shortage, a lack of manpower, and other unforeseen circumstances, that goal, it simply was not met.
I did report last month that the mason was getting behind, and so they did agree to work overtime and agreed to work the last two, I don't want to say weekends, I'm not sure they worked on Sunday or not, but sometimes they do. But I know they worked on Saturdays for the last two weeks. So they did make up some of our lost, not all of our lost time, but some of it.
Gum says roofing the building is the next step in that process. That should occur the week of November 28th, but that all depends on an obstacle that most builders are facing in the final months of the year, and that's the weather.
We're a little weather dependent right now. Have to have certain temperatures to put the roof on, so we'll be a little bit at the mercy of the weather, but all in all, pleased.
Now, the school board, it will meet for the final time in 2022 next month. That date or location, it has yet to be determined. Well, yesterday, 2 court cases that are going through the local system here were, of course, on the docket yesterday here in Barron County. Looks like that first one where the woman who has allegedly been involved in her father's death, Cheryl Leanne Bennett, she was before the judge yesterday. That case was deferred to the grand jury, and her attorney yesterday, Mr. Johnny Bell, he had requested a bond reduction from $500,000 to $50,000. That was simply taken under advisement, which means that it was not put into place. She remains lodged at the jail. And the case involving the killing of, or rather alleged killing of a child here in Barron County, Serenity Brown and Devin Pierce, who are allegedly involved in the death of that child there, they have been, of course, in the courtroom for the last few months, and they were set to be at a pretrial conference yesterday. That has now been passed until December 12th. That is at 1 o'clock there for that pretrial conference. Gas prices this week in Kentucky, they're 5 cents lower at $3.40 per gallon. That's according to AAA East Central's gas price report. The average price this week at $3.40. The average price during this time last week, $3.45, and the average price during this time last year, $3.06 per gallon. Looks like the average price of unleaded self-serve gasoline across the region: Bowling Green $3.36, E-Town $3.25, Louisville $3.82, Owensboro at $3.24, and Paducah at $3.32. Now, at the close of Friday's formal trading session, West Texas Intermediate, they increased by $2.49, settling at $88.96. And although crude prices rose at the end of the week due to a weakening dollar, prices dropped earlier in the week after the Energy Information Administration reported that total domestic commercial crude stocks, they increased by 4 million barrels. The inventory rise, it could mean that demand is falling due to growing economic concerns. Find more information at gasprices.aaa.com. 7:17, 39 degrees. Nothing on the activity report this morning from the 911 Center. Stay tuned. We have lots more local news to get to on the other side of this break. This is WCLU Local News.
When we lost Frank, we lost a good friend. Father, husband, colleague, and coach. He meant a lot to all of us. Today, we had a chance to tell him that.
When someone close to you passes on, you want to commemorate their life in a special way. That's why individual requests are such an important part of our funeral services. We strive to meet your specific needs for the most fitting service for your loved ones. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
Healthcare changes all the time, but at Hatchet Home Medical, we're a consistent friend to help you navigate the road to good health. We are your headquarters for all types of equipment and supplies to let you recuperate at home, and we keep up with all the changes. So let us file the paperwork for insurance reimbursement. Hatchet Home Medical's huge showroom and warehouse on Park Avenue in Glasgow lets us stock what you need, and our trained technicians are courteous and helpful when setting up and instructing you or your caretakers. We feature a 24-hour on-call phone number to help in emergencies. And remember, all healthcare professionals, Hatchet's Home Medical has the area's largest selection of nurses' uniforms and supplies, featuring the best of name brands. Whether you need a wheelchair, walker, hospital bed, or other assistive device, the name to remember is Hatchet Home Medical in the Park Avenue Shopping Center in Glasgow. Phone 651-9551.
Welcome back to WCLU Local News, Tuesday, November 15th, 39 degrees now. 7:19 is our time. In fact, we are actually 3 seconds away from 7:20 if you'd like to set the clock by it. More local news to get to. Bridge, Kentucky is seeking some help from the community in seeking some donations. Of course, they are a local group here that many folks are aware of, that they help folks, but if you're not familiar with them, they are in need of sleeping cot donations. They are going to be using these for their winter time homeless shelter, emergency homeless shelter, we should say. Mainly adult-sized cots that they're looking for, but they do say in a Facebook post, we do have a few children staying this season at our shelter. Now, they have lots of great discussion, or rather, they've seen lots of great discussion around Glasgow, they say, needing a shelter, and while we currently provide the only running shelter in the city, we are always in need of volunteers, hygiene supplies, sleep cots, and bedding, unquote. That's all coming from Bridge, Kentucky. They say you can help today by stopping by to learn about the homeless shelter, donating, or simply spreading the word. They are located here in Glasgow at 603 West Main Street. That's Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. So they are open today if you'd like to drop by there, see how you can help out with this homeless shelter. Again, they provide a lot of resources to the community, help a lot of folks out with the things that are going on, hardships, troubles, things like that. Get in contact with them there at their office along West Main Street. And the Glasgow Police Department is also seeking some donations. Of course, they want to help the community at all times, as they've told us several times. And a part of this initiative this holiday season, they're going to be doing Holiday Heroes Toy and Food Drive. That's running through December 6th. Now, they are collecting holiday donations for the residents of Barron County, they say, and they'll be filling as many requests as possible based on the donations received. Now, you can be a holiday hero by donating a new unwrapped toy for children aged newborn to 16 years old, or donating non-perishable food items. The drop-off locations, they will be there at the Glasgow Police Department at 101 Pinoak Lane. If you're not familiar with where that is, that's straight across the street from Zaxby's in Glasgow. The Glasgow Fire Department Station 1 at 203 South Broadway Street, and Station 2 at 130 Cross Street. Now, that Broadway location there, that's near Crow Funeral Home. That's also there where the former Glasgow Police Station was, where the current 911 Communications Center is, and that Station 2 location there is there at that location near the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. So all of those places you can drop off there through December 6th, get those toys in. And lastly today, authorities say a school bus crashed over an embankment and landed on its side in rural Kentucky, sending the driver and 18 children to hospitals with injuries. Students from elementary age through high school were headed to classes when the crash occurred yesterday morning on a state highway near Saylorsville, Kentucky. No other vehicles were involved, and the cause of that crash, it wasn't immediately known. A school superintendent reported those injuries ranged from minor to critical, but no fatalities were immediately reported. Authorities Authorities say some of the students had already climbed up the embankment, and others they had to be helped up with ropes and baskets by first responders. It's 7:23, 39 degrees. I'm Brennan Crane. Have a great Tuesday. This is WCLU Local News.
If you were about to have your last McRib ever, you'd want some warning. So this is your notice to enjoy the sauciest McDonald's sandwich more than ever, because the McRib Farewell Tour has begun.
This is your chance to say 2 final goodbyes to a classic. For a limited time, enjoy 2 McRib sandwiches for only $6. Hurry before they're gone. At participating McDonald's, McD app download and registration required.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Tower. Good morning live here at WCLU. Tickled to death to have back with us a human resources specialist from TJ Regional Health, Miss Savannah Wood. Hey, Savannah, how you doing this morning, ma'am?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing real good. I know it's a busy time out there at TJ Sampson. Well, actually, most times are busy, but right now, y'all are busy looking for some folks to get the job done out there. And I know that there's a big job fair that's coming up on Wednesday, tomorrow, at the Pavilion from 8 until noon. I know that for sure that you all are looking for some folks to come in there and take over the job of phlebotomist. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We are currently seeking a phlebotomist. We have the shifts open at 4A to 4:30 p.m. every third weekend, 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. every third weekend, and 6 p. to 6:30 a. every third weekend on that one as well.
Well, that seems to me like there's several opportunities for phlebotomists to come in there and work. And I know that folks who are interested in that type of work, and I know there's a lot of them, because I know there's a lot of good phlebotomists out there at TJ Sampson. I have my blood drawn pretty regularly, and I'm just always amazed at the culture out there at TJ. The culture and the atmosphere of people who work at TJ Sampson is so positive. Why don't you expand on that a little bit, okay?
So our culture is very important to us. We're just like a big family here. We greet each other in the hallways with a smile, and we're always there for one another, so definitely a great place to be.
And if you go out there, go to this job fair, and you are employed as a TJ Sampson phlebotomist, there's some benefits that you will be able to take advantage of. I'm going to ask you point blank there, Savannah, what kind of benefits does TJ Sampson offer?
Yeah, so employee satisfaction is a huge field at TJ Sampson. So we actually do have a dental, vision, and health effective day one of employment for our employees, and we also do have a great PTO purchase plan upon hire.
That's a pretty big deal to be able to do those benefits that take over from day one. That is quite a perk, isn't it, Savannah?
It definitely is, and they're actually very, very good benefits. So we're very grateful that we get to do that for our employees.
So tomorrow from 8 until noon at the TJ Pavilion Community Center. Come in the big doors there in the middle, and you can go up there and go through the process of seeking employment as a phlebotomist. And I know that you're going to have, there's going to be lots of those good human resource specialist folks up there who are going to be able to answer a lot of questions, to be able to point you in the right direction to get that done. And you just might be one of the new phlebotomists at TJ Sampson. Some great shifts that you mentioned there too, Savannah.
Definitely. And we're looking forward to everyone coming out and getting to meet everyone.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us here today, and hopefully we can get a bunch of folks out there and see what it's like to be an employee at TJ Sampson, okay?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Southern Kentucky Tire Pros does more than just tires. They maximize the love of being behind the wheel. They offer top brands of tires with road hazard coverage available for 3 years at as little as $15 a tire. Plus, the Hunter Hawkeye Elite Alignment Machine is the most accurate four-wheel alignment in the area and the only rack in town that can fit dualies. Drive with confidence knowing wherever you go, Southern Kentucky Tire Pros will help take you there. Go see Foster and everyone at family-owned and operated Southern Kentucky Tire Pros, 1004 Happy Valley Road, Glasgow.
Let's turn to local sports. Glasgow High School's Caroline Murphy signed a letter of intent to run track with Murray State University, surrounded by friends and family this past Friday. The senior track standout has broken several school records, including the high jump, 100-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles, and the 4x100 relay. Murphy has also been named to several all-state teams, and she holds varsity letters in basketball, soccer, and track. Now, the track season won't kick off until next spring, but Murphy's already preparing to set new records.
I'm really going to try for that state record, but we'll see what happens. I just want to get a little bit better each year.
Practice on the high jump and occasional indoor meets take up plenty of her off-season time, Murphy said. John Vaughn, who is the track coach at Glasgow High School, said Murphy is good at everything. He reflected on her career as a track team member from the early days when she was an eager 6th grade student. That eagerness blossomed into a standout athlete and eventual state champion.
So we got to state, and she hits that her goal was 5.6. And it was the last jump of the day, and she won it. It was very exciting.
Murphy was presented a state championship ring during the ceremony following those accomplishments earlier this summer. Murphy said she plans to pursue a business-related major, likely business administration or marketing.
I just love the environment at Murray State. I loved the coaches. I just had a great time when I visited. I visited twice, and it just seemed like this perfect place for me.
Congratulations to Caroline Murphy, Glasgow High School student, signing a letter of intent with Murray State University.
Catch Brennan Crane's local news coverage weekdays exclusively on WCLU Radio. Good Morning Live at WCLUradio.com and Facebook.
Good morning, friends. Often we hear people talk of being converted. By that, I take it to mean the moment in time when they were saved from their sins and gave themselves to Jesus. It occurs to me that true conversion is like loving or education. It's a continual process, which cannot be limited to only one isolated moment. Rather, it's an ongoing procedure of growth. Such a process begins by being convicted of our own sinfulness through and by the Word of God, and making a decision to turn in response to God's Spirit as He operates in our hearts through that Word. It is here that we must declare Jesus to be absolute Lord of our life and trust Him alone for our salvation. Having done that, we must be baptized into the possession of Christ, and thereby be added to the body of saved people. Then as we walk in the light, we will grow in grace and knowledge of our Lord, and develop a deeper and purer relationship with Him. This would result in an inner assurance of our salvation, which He has promised to all who come to Him. This is Danny Wyatt for the Refuge Church of Christ.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Good morning live, WCLU 731. Kind of a dreary day out there. We are going in the right direction, though. 40 degrees now. That's the right direction, I guess, if we don't want to go the other direction. Certainly not this time yet. The AM Book Discussion Club is going to meet Thursday at the Mary Weldon Library. We've been talking about books here. We had a book trivia question today. The selection of the month is A Man Called Ovi. And that's going to be an interesting discussion. Pick up a copy at the circulation desk and join the discussion at the wonderful Mary Weldon Library. That's 10 o'clock on Thursday. 10 o'clock this morning, the Amar Homemakers are going to meet out at the Extension office. They're going to be talking about making Christmas ornaments, glass etchings, herbs, digital photography, and cooking for two. Dues to join are only $10 for the year. Call this number if you got a question or two at 678-5644. That's 678-5644.
This WCLU weather update brought to you by Southern States.
One thing's for sure, seasons do change. We might not be able to predict the date of the next cold snap, but at Southern States, in business since 1923, we've seen some patterns. We're ready to fill your tanks and make sure you won't be chilled out by the seasonal changes. Southern States is ready to help you with seed and fertilizer for your pastures and your home lawns. We just love helping our customers prepare for the next season. We're Southern States, 300 Sampson Street in Glasgow. In the WCLU Forecast Center, we are going to continue with some shower activity here today in south central Kentucky. Where did I put that shower chance? I think it's a 40% chance of some shower activity for today. Then for tonight, some light showers will continue to move in our neighborhood and will drop to about 24 for the low temperature. 40 degrees now at WCLU. We had, let's see, 1/10 of an inch of rain. Is that the, let me get these figures over here. We actually have we're up to 0.12 of an inch right now, 0.12. When I checked the Burkesville rain gauge, they had 1/16 of an inch there. I gave you the wrong low for tonight. It's 32 is going to be the low tonight. It'll be chilly, but not as chilly. That 24-degree low comes on Wednesday night. And then by Thursday morning, the best we can promise you is right where we really are, 40 degrees for the high temperature. And this weather update has been brought to you by your friends at Southern States Glasgow Cooperative, helping you to make sure that when the seasons change, you've got what you need to make sure that it's changed.
Anderson Windows and Doors with Stormwatch protection are designed to meet building codes for coastal locations from Maine to Miami, Gainesville to Galveston, and they're on guard even when no one is home. Anderson Windows and Doors with Stormwatch protection. The uglier the weather gets, the more beautiful they become.
See the full line of Anderson Windows and Doors at Glasgow Building Supply, 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Anderson Windows. Come home to Anderson.
And while we're talking about Glasgow Building Supply, don't forget that delicious sorghum molasses down there came out of the hills and hollers of Allen County. Yes, they have hills and hollers in Allen County. Jimmy Holloway knows his way around those. He went and got some homemade sorghum molasses, and it's making home breakfast so enjoyable. Get yours today at Glasgow Building Supply. It's a good place to go. You can learn a whole lot. Every time I go down there, I learn something. There's a lot of chatting going on there for sure. Let me tell you about some nice folks having birthdays today. We know that Landon Vance is 10 today. We know so because Landon's grandmother called up to wish him a happy 10th birthday today. Hannah Wyatt. Hannah is turning 19 today. Rena Brooks. Happy birthday to Rena Brooks. Greg Hollander. Kristen Bale. Josh Payne. Chad Settle. Chad is 45 today. Pam Landrum has a birthday. So does Donna Kinslow. Ms. E.G. Landers has a birthday. It is Louise Garrett. It is James Denton. James having a big birthday today. The 65th wedding anniversary today for Betty and Ewing Hopkins. That's the 65th wedding anniversary for the Hopkins today. How about that? 651-9149-800-956-1023. Online, it is an easy click at WCLUradio.com. It is James Denton Day on the radio. That was called in a while back to talk about what a fine fella James is, and I don't know of a soul who would dispute that, because he is a good fella. If you happen to see James Denton around today, wish him a happy birthday. Remind him he's good as gold from his friends here at WCLU and a little taste of Texas, where they are certainly enjoying having lots of folks come in for delicious things, nice things to eat. The special last night was the taco soup and the grilled cheese, and if that doesn't warm you up, nothing will. Go and see what will warm you up today, the Texas way, okay?
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
2000, 2008,
2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/advantage. netsuite.com/advantage.
Get more for your Medicare dollar, Bowling Green, with a $0 premium Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With a United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, it's easier than ever to get more for your Medicare dollar, including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Take advantage. Call United Healthcare today at 1-888-CALL-UHC. That's 1-888-CALL-UHC. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Ugh, why is this thing so slow?
Is your slow computer frustrating, but you don't want to pay the money for a new one? Well, check this out.
Hi, I'm Chris from Apollo PC. Nothing runs better than a new computer. Our refurbished models are practically good as new. Right now, get a complete computer system with monitor, keyboard, mouse, and speakers running Windows 7 for only $300. Or if you prefer a laptop, we have fully refurbished models for only $250. And we wouldn't put the Apollo name on it if they weren't top-notch.
Search faster with Apollo PC. Chain Drive in Glasgow next to Sweetheart Bakery.
It's 4th and long. The Titans are going to need a miracle to win this game. The quarterback is calling an audible at the line.
800, 4,600, 800, 4,600.
The pass is up. Touchdown, Titans! It always pays to make the right call. If you've been injured in a car wreck, make the right call. Hughes and Coleman, 800-800-4600. Call today for a free case evaluation. Hughes and Coleman, the official injury lawyers of the Tennessee Titans.
Principal Office, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Hughes & Coleman is proud to be the official injury lawyers of the Tennessee Titans. To celebrate, Hughes & Coleman is giving away 2 free club-level tickets to every Titans home game and suite tickets to select Titans games. All you have to do is go to titans.hughesandcoleman.com, titans.hughesandcoleman.com, and register for your chance to win. Valid for residents 18 years or older in Tennessee and Kentucky. See titans.hughesandcoleman.com for official rules. Principal Office, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español.
Gracias, Babbel.
Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Good morning live on WCLU and the Big Willie. It's 40 degrees, 741, and Bobby Lee Hurt is up and running. You know, Bobby's always in a good mood. If I see Bobby's not in a good mood, there's reason for concern. But I don't know that I've ever seen that, actually, Bobby Lee. So good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. I hope you never see me in a bad mood.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm putting the onus on you, but, and I'm sure I could call Vivian up and see if she would separately tell me whether or not you ever get in a bad mood.
That might be hazardous.
Yeah, well, I mean, but what would I do with that information? That's the question.
That's right.
So what's been cooking up there at Hurt Auto Sales? I know that actually we've caught you on more than one occasion on a fishing trip, fishing for cars that people have been telling you they would like to own. So we'd kind of like to hear some fishing stories this morning, Bobby Lee. Tell us about it.
We just reeled in 2015 Jeep Renegade.
Okay.
Haven't had one of these in a while. It's a nice-looking small SUV, white in color, with gray inside, priced for just $13,900.
Okay, you reeled that in at a low price, sir.
I most certainly did. We also got a 2013 Chevy Traverse, third-row seating, all-wheel drive, nice-looking ride as well, and we've got it priced to sell for just $12,900.
You're talking turkey for sure.
That's right, and talking classy cars, we got a 2013 Mercedes C250. That's a small four-door sedan. Great gas mileage. Good-looking ride. Price for just $11,900.
Now, you know, one of the many things you can brag about Bobby Lee about is that he knows those types of cars, like the numbers. He can tell you if you want a Mercedes XYZZ23, you'll know exactly what that means, don't you?
That's correct. I hope so anyway. And,
might be the name of the person who built it, but you know, don't you?
That's right. We try to keep up on that, isn't we?
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive because, you know, I guess the real, the serious side of that is that, you know, you're buying a car from somebody who knows cars, and that's got to give you some comfort for sure.
It most certainly does, Henry. We've been doing this a long time and plan on doing it a lot longer.
Yeah,
matter of fact.
you know.
And so come in and check us out. We've got lots more to choose from, and we'd love to do some business with you today.
Well, so can you tell me when your love of cars developed? What was it that got you tore up about cars, Bobby Lee?
I actually started selling cars in 1975.
My goodness. That was when you were bleaching tires on the parking lot at Wayne County High School, wasn't it?
That's right. We were burning that rubber. Henry. Right.
Hey, and you fell in love.
Fell in love. That's right. Hey, and a long love story.
Yeah, that's right. Well, here's what I want you to do is to remind people the fact that you're up there at 621 West Main Street, and the inventory up there changes every day because Bobby Lee knows that people who come looking want to see options, and boy, do they have them today. There's stuff up there today that wasn't there yesterday, so if you went yesterday, you're behind until you go back today, I guess, Bobby Lee. Is that a fair way to put it?
We try to change it every day.
Yeah.
Most certainly do.
621 West Main Street. Come and see Bobby Lee and everybody up there at Hurt Auto Sales. But as a customer service gesture, the motto is always in effect, and that is...
no pain when you trade with Hurt.
Have a good day, sir.
You also. Thank you, Henry.
Thank you. This auction has it all. Elmore Auction is selling another top-notch farm ag facility Saturday morning, November 19th at 10. Note the address, 580 A.L. Shirley Road. It's 41 acres of land to be divided into 5 tracts. One tract has a beautiful 2-bedroom, 3 full-bath home with attached garage, sunroom, private backyard, and an attached shop building and garage. All 5 tracts have lots of road frontage and sizes ranging up to 13 acres. Yes, there's lots of farm machinery and tons of tools. A John Deere 5420 cab tractor, 3210 bush hog rotary mower, Cub Cadet side-by-side, and an Arctic Cat 4-wheeler. There's a tremendous amount of furniture, collectibles, antiques, even vintage tools. 7% buyer's premium will be added to the final price. Go to ElmoreAuction.com to see pictures and more details. This is the Carlos Ballard Estate Sale. Look for the signs off Highway 6880, the Edmonton Road. For a tour, call Nate Froggett, the listing agent, at 270-537-3224. Another quality auction from Elmore Auction, Dakota Elmore, principal auctioneer. Remember, the cold air is here and going to be here for a while. That's another reason for you to go to the Avenue Church this Saturday. They're hosting a children's coat giveaway this coming Saturday. It starts at 9 in the morning, goes until noon. Now, get this, area children ages 3 through high school will receive a free coat and hat and gloves and a scarf. Signs are going to be posted upon entering. The church is there at 315 Columbia Avenue in Glasgow, and you want to be sure. And they do a really good job. The parishioners there at the church, at the Avenue Church, do a really good job of putting together a wonderful selection of coats and hats and things of that nature, so the young ones can stay warm. And again, we had Edie Bell by here earlier, and let's see, I want to be sure that you know about the Barron County Homemakers Christmas Bazaar. It's going to be going on Saturday too, 8 to 1, Barron County Extension Office. Baked goods and stocking stuffers and specialty gifts and household items. I'm sure a gourd or two, that's right. And the address is at 1463 West Main Street. We're going to do Tidbit News next.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/advantage. netsuite.com/advantage.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
Sprinkling a little good cheer on the morning show here. We call it Tidbit News. Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
And a whole lot of nothing.
That's right. That's when we total it up.
That's right. How you doing, Henry?
Comes out to I'm doing good, real good.
Good.
It's we've had some sprinkles out there. Some rain. How was it coming in for you?
It rained quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't checked the rain gauge in about 20 minutes, so I'm going to see.
Good day to be under the covers.
That's right. That's right, boy. It's a good. I'll tell you, it's a bad day to have to climb out from under them. Let me tell you that.
That's for sure.
That is a hard one for sure. My little Yorkie T says, where are you going?
Yeah. Why are you leaving me again?
I said, look at the clock. No,
it's
that's not what I said.
1 till 6.
That's right. Anyway. All right. And Brendan is being woefully silent up there.
I'm here.
Of course he is.
Okay. All right. Because he's and I was going to say, because he's in charge of the credible part of this program, and being a
what was that?
Credible, I don't know.
It's loud headphones.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I thought that meant
that was me, sorry.
I thought that was you backing up.
I hear that little whistle once in a while.
It's me backing up.
That's right.
That's a good one.
All right. So anyway, what I have here is a couple of tidbit news items.
Okay.
I had a couple of tidbit news items. I've just been looking over them and then almost lost them. We, being a credible news agency, Brennan, we have to follow up on stories that we had, even on tidbit news.
Yes.
So here we go. Authorities here in Kentucky said the last of those 11 cows that escaped from a truck back in late October has been sighted weeks later.
Well, good. I saw the headline for that. So.
Yeah. Well, here's the rest of the story. The Louisville Metro Police Department says the 11 cows were found running loose on the Cherokee Park Golf Course and surrounding area on October the 21st after the animals escaped from a truck that was struck by another vehicle on I-64.
Wow.
All but one of the bovines were rounded up by authorities and volunteer cowboys. Louisville Metro Animal Services said the remaining animal, which is a bull, was spotted Sunday. Now get this. You can't make this up. Witnesses said the bull was seen in an area between Lemoo.
What?
Lemoo.
Lemoo, that's Lemoo, and Bear Grass Creek. Now, I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
Is that might be street names. Lemoo Street?
Coincidence?
Lemoo. I don't know. I could ask Siri. Siri, take me to Lemoo Street. Anyways, and Bear Grass Creek, that's where they saw the bull. Authorities also, as if you had to, remind members of the public to call police rather than attempt to capture the bull themselves. Good piece of advice. If you're on Lemoo Street, you can only hand out bull.
Well, apparently there's a restaurant in Louisville called Le Mou
Okay.
as well. So.
Well, maybe it was it didn't say Lemu what?
Yeah.
I'm presuming Beargrass Creek is a creek, but I don't know from the name what Lemu is.
I don't know.
Anyway, the last of the cows has been sighted.
And we ain't talking bull.
No, that's right, we're not. But anyway, it took a while to get it together, I guess is what I'm saying. Let me get over here to another animal story I have here this morning. It's really kind of a sad story, but...
Okay.
Up in Canada, 2 men have been charged with hunting inside of a zoo.
You're bound to find something.
I think that might be a little bit of an issue. Endangered species.
Two men are facing charges after police say they drove into the Park Omega Zoo last week and killed 4 animals with a firearm.
Oh, my goodness.
The incident happened on Thursday after an employee called 911 about 9:30 p.m. after seeing a van drive onto the property and hearing what sounded like gunshots. Quebec Provincial Police arrested the men, ages 42 and 21. They were found in their vehicle after officers responded to the wildlife park in Montebello, Quebec, which is 134 kilometers west of Montreal. See, I was looking at far and wide websites there. Now, the carcasses of 3 wild boars and 1 elk were found inside of the vehicle, along with at least 1 firearm, according to Marc Tessier, the spokesperson for the Sûreté du Québec, which probably means police. Tessier says the accused were scheduled to appear in court Monday to formally be charged with several offenses relating to killing animals, breaking and entering, as well as firearms offenses.
Were they on drugs or
I don't
something?
know.
I mean, how do you...
And the final charge is just being real dumb.
Yeah. The biggest fine of all.
Yeah, this headline, though, 2 men in Canada charged with hunting inside of a zoo. You don't do that.
No.
But, I mean, I don't know. What am I saying? I'm saying, these guys, they were going to go back to some Elks Club somewhere or something and show off what they found on their hunting trip and never disclosed where the hunting trip was.
Of course, the local zoo,
Yeah, look what great hunters we are. Look at this elk we bagged.
Look at this wild boar.
In the elk park.
Boy.
That is bad, really bad.
It's just not, like, how could you even be proud of that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, let me back up here a second. I heard on Dave Ramsey, we used to run Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who was really struggling with his finances, and Dave was asking him all about it. And the guy says, well, I just can't stop spending money. He said he was down there at Dover, Tennessee, and pulled into a truck stop, and there was a deer head on the wall for sale, and he said, I just bought it. And then Dave says, did you hang it up in your house? Yeah. Dave says, this is a deer you didn't even shoot.
That's right.
But you hung up its head in their house. So that, those things are, it's a point of pride.
Compulsive spender.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let me get off of that. This is proud of a young child here. A 9-year-old elementary school student has entered the Double E for excellent effort, saving a classmate's life with a Heimlich maneuver.
Wonderful.
Her name is Essie Collier. She's a 4th grader at the Pratt Elementary School in Racine, Wisconsin. She spotted a classmate holding her neck while eating lunch last week and quickly rushed up to help her. Miss Essie wrapped her arms around the kid, did the Heimlich, and the girl's airway was cleared.
Wow.
Teacher Samantha Bradshaw says she's never seen a student react so quickly in a situation like that. Now, Essie says she learned the Heimlich maneuver 2 years ago from a YouTube video.
Well,
wow.
Teaching purposes there.
The school board plans to honor her for her heroics later this month.
Man.
So while you're over there, you could be watching Hip Hop TikTok, or you could be learning something useful.
That's right.
And finally, I'll throw this one in here just because it just doesn't make any sense. But how much would you spend for a pair of well-used sandals, y'all?
Well-used sandals?
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't spend any.
Depends on what brand.
These date back to the mid-'70s.
Oh.
These, you would probably pass on them if you saw them at a thrift store because they were worn by the late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs.
Oh, wow.
These are Steve Jobs sandals. The price tag was much higher. Julianne's auction says the used brown suede Birkenstocks went for $220,000.
Oh, that is crazy.
Pre-broken in. And in case it is the highest price, in case you were wondering, it is the highest price ever paid at an auction for a pair of sandals, and I'm saying won't be replicated for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we have.
$250,000?
Hunting in a zoo. And other tidbit news for today. But anyway, coming up, the 8 o'clock, I guess I'm trying to sound British, the 8 o'clock morning edition is coming here, chap.
Sounded more like Australia.
I'm sorry, it probably did, because I'm more of an Australian type of a guy. I'm actually a New Zealander, I think.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the 8 o'clock morning edition is coming your way straight ahead. And then, of course, that's with Brendan Crane as your host. And then coming up at 8 o'clock also, James Coates and the Big Willie